Because while it was occasionally a period of violent war, and it ended in a period of violent war, the 100 Years' War, with all the loose soldiers running about Europe, still daily life went on. And it went on not just in the communities, but also the traders. And there was continued to be movement across Europe outside the beginning of formal society. Beginning of formal society is, of course, the army. It's the formal society is the large-scale society is army society. So the solution is find your place in the complex reality of human beings, but not a solution dictated by desire, but by argumentation. And argumentation is only possible between persons. So you have to have contact with other persons. Okay, this is the, some of you will know this. This is the scheme of conflict conditions. We have 4 necessary conditions. And a necessary condition is such that if you eliminate it, you have no longer the problem. So if you have 4 basic conditions of conflict, the elimination of one condition solves the problem of conflict. That means that there are basically 4 types of solutions. They're all discussed at nauseam in the philosophical literature. Unity is a solution for the problem of conflict, where you have one line of command, and the phenomenal aspect is society, because every society is marked by a government and a line of command, a hierarchy of positions. Now, as an ordinary citizen of the state of Belgium, which is a political society, I am in a very low position socially, not that my pay is exceptionally low or something, but I have very little decision-making power. Command is the line, the social solution. Diversity elimination leads to consensus or conformity to basic values and basic opinions, and this is typical of community life, because you are in community with people with whom you agree fundamentally. That is your community. Even the Jewish communities or the Muslim communities, there's always reference to some basic line of agreement. This is Marxism, and indeed all the other immanentist solutions about the end of history and so on. But the libertarian liberal tradition and also the European natural law tradition is basically in the last line. It is the principle of conviviality. The human person first, right, rather than the abstract citizen. And so the choice would be, as it were, what do you want? A strong society, a strong community, or a strong conviviality? Factually, there are advantages to each, but the basic strength of conviviality is that it always arises spontaneously. You can move around with other people even if you have no community in common or no society in common. So whenever there is destruction, the order of conviviality is, as it were, the soil from which everything else springs back. Or to put it in somewhat ideological lines, libertarianism favors conviviality over community and society because it has an aversion to imposed rules, and conservatism favors community. This is no longer the modern conservatism over society and over conviviality, because it has an aversion to abstract principle. Conservatism conservatists, or what they call it, they are even more, as it were, hostile to the natural law tradition than many progressives. Why? Because as one of the French conservative thinkers put it, there is no such thing as man. There are only Frenchmen and Russians and so on. And of course there are no Frenchmen either, and no Russians either. So there is really only the individual, which is the way conservatism dissolves. The socialism is, of course, the adulation of society. Notice, though, that with the prime choice for the liberal libertarians of conviviality and for the socialists of society, a community becomes, as it were, the lost middle ground. And part of the philosophical loss of the 20th century is that in the fight between the liberals and the socialists, the middle ground was abandoned, and the whole idea of communitarian as an alternative and as a solid solution to problems of interaction was lost. In the 1980s, there was a short attempt to resurrect it, but of course communitarianism did not make it again to the surface, because it was more or less, as it were, out of tune with the spirit of the times. So, enjoy your meal.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So we have another gift for you as well.
Yeah.
So we go downstairs.
Ja, het eten, Juri, eten is hier echt over, hè? In het casino.
We gaan direct, hè.
Ja, we gaan nu.
Demo, is dat af?
Mocht er niet eerst ingecheckt worden in de kamers niet?
Zijn we dan niet te laat gegeten?
Dat is goed.
10:02.
10:02.
Dan zijn we te laat, dus gaan we na het eten inchecken.
Ik ga de sleutels gaan vragen aan de receptie. Heeft er iemand de sleutels van?
Nee, de receptie hebben ze een lijst.
Ah ja, oké.
De receptie hebben ze een lijst. Van wie dat waren.
Can you just look?
I got my little boiling oil to pour over their happy, but I'm going to have to read the details. I'm not going to use it Yeah. That just looks 27,000. So, yeah. I have a feeling young libertarians are going to get a lot this weekend. They're basically retweeting everything that we, everything I say.